just watch. Don't believe me, 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 just watch. Hey, 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 oh!
Hello, VO community. Here we are with another golden nugget. Our guest today is Cliff Zellman, and he's going to give us a few tips on things that maybe may help your business. Good morning, Cliff. How are you?
Good morning, Connie. Thank you so much.
I am so glad you're here.
I am too.
I had a great time watching you yesterday direct.
Oh, thank you so much. It's to some people it kind of looks a little weird because it's kind of like I'm dancing with a partner that's not moving as much as I am.
Right.
But it's fun, and I think that it's inspirational, and I think that it helps a VO talent if they see what somebody can do. I don't want them to necessarily match exactly what I'm doing, but I use a lot of physicality in my direction, and I think that using your hands, using your... Can I get technical?
Yes.
Mr. Frowny Face is very, very important. You can't, when you frown, you can't be happy, and when your eyebrows are up, you can't be sad. So using your face, using your hands, using your body. I like to have a pencil in my hand when I'm reading, and I'll direct myself. And the read and my brain and the hand all kind of work in concert, and it kind of helps me deliver the lines. This and this, and I've learned from a few great coaches and just doing it for 1,000 years. And the more you move, I really think the more, because we don't really have the benefit of on-screen actors that can use, I mean, how funny would Kramer be if you're only listening to him?
Right.
So got to kind of go that little bit, but there's a fine line, between too much, way too much, and just right. So using the body and using your hands kind of puts you right in there.
And that's what I love. When we were watching you in class, I mean, all of us were enthralled because not only were you directing the person that was in front, I believe was Bob Markle?
Bob
that was in front?
One of the three, yeah.
Yes, and we've got a little B-roll on him.
It doesn't care how hard you worked. It doesn't acknowledge your accomplishments, the friends you've made, the awards you've won. It only knows one thing.
Okay, good.
So we could put a little, but what I loved about it is you're in the background. So people, when they see this episode, they're going to be able to see how behind him you were directing him. So at the same time that you were giving him direction, you were doing the movements that you were trying to relay, which I think was fantastic.
Thank you.
Because
I actually think that, I know it sounds weird, but even though the voice talent might not be looking at me, they can feel the vibe behind them. And the only reason I say that is because it kind of works, and I've seen it so many times. And when I'm directing over the phone, sometimes don't have a Skype set up, or I don't have a Viber, and I will do the motions too while they're reading and I'm listening. And when I do the motions, it seems that the person on the other end of the line is kind of matching.
yeah. No, I loved it because even those that looked like they were timid to put their body into it, when they started doing the exact things you were asking them to do physically, it was coming out in their voice. It was projecting.
It was neat. And another neat thing is when they do hit it, I can see the whole audience all at the same time.
Yes.
That's it. You don't know the wrong read when you hear it, but you always know the right read.
Right.
And it just clicks. And it actually makes it easier. And I really teach that a lot because self-direction is so important.
Yes.
Because you have to self-direct yourself in an audition.
Right.
And the audition is the job. And we've been hearing that all weekend.
Yes.
The audition is the job, and the job is the fun.
Right.
And you got to do the job beforehand. So it's essential to understand self-direction techniques. And there's a lot of ways to do it. And to me, the main one is physicality. Using your face, using your hands, using your shoulders. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Breaking up words, doing triplets when you need them, stretching things out around the world. Right. And it's subtle,
Yes.
and learning how far you can go.
Right.
And I'll always be a little bit more physical
Right.
than the actual delivery.
Right.
So keep that physicality, but tone down your delivery. And it's really nice. It works great. It makes for a fun read. And isn't
Yes.
that what we all want? We want a
absolutely.
fun read.
Absolutely. And if you want to laugh, put your mirror in front of you, because I do that sometimes. I'll put, when I'm having a little trouble just getting there, I'll put my mirrh in front of me
Oh,
so that I
that's
can
great.
go, okay, are you reacting to what's coming out of your mouth?
Yeah.
It does make a big
Yes,
difference.
absolutely.
It does make a big difference.
What I like to do also is ad-lib a line at the end, and we all talk about backstory and how, who are you before you enter the scene.
Right.
What I like to do is I'll read the line, and then I'll add something at the end, like, a Ford Focus, only $19,995. Oh, yeah. And if my oh, yeah matches,
Right.
the line at the front, then I know that my read is in the ballpark.
Right.
Because the end, my ad lib at the end is how I truly feel about what I'm reading.
Right.
So if I would say, right now you can get a Ford Focus for only $19,995. Wow, that's pretty neat. Well, I'm not having
Yeah.
the enthusiasm. So
Right.
if the made-up line at the end matches the read, another self-directing technique,
Right.
that you're getting the point across for what you really want to say, how you really feel versus the words on the paper. And if you
Right.
can, and that's really what the goal is
Right.
to internalize it and have your read, no matter what the words are, emit and emote, how you feel and the emotions about it, be it positive, negative, or indifference.
Right. And the great thing about those little buttons is sometimes they'll use them. It's what makes you stand out from the other talent.
You got the right pile, you got the left pile.
Right.
You want to be in the right pile.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So sometimes that button is what could push you over into the right pile. Or maybe they don't want the button, they clip it, but you've got the attitude with everything else
Yeah,
that matches
exactly.
that button.
Now, I always edit it. I take it off. I don't add it in.
Okay.
Especially if it's an actual read, not an audition. Audition, you can get a little bit
Right.
looser. When auditioning, I usually do get a little bit looser, but I don't really audition that much because I work for an agency and
Right.
I got the gig.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't auditioned actually in a long time,
Right.
but I did back then, and that kind of got me into this place.
Right. Well, I'm watching you. I know why you don't audition. I mean, people know you now for your talent.
Oh, thank
I mean,
you.
it's a given. So they don't need you to audition.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
you're already there.
Put in the time, 37 years in the industry.
Wow.
Good Lord.
Well, I thank you for being with us today
thank
and
you
giving
so
us
much
some
for having
golden
me. I
nuggets.
appreciate it.
Now, for our audience, is there somewhere where a website, something, a newsletter, anything they can look
Well,
up
I
if they
don't
want to
really do
follow
a
you?
newsletter because I'd be basically writing the same newsletter every month.
Mm-hmm.
Still working, still alive, still busy. But my personal website is dallasvo.com. And on that, I talk about demo production, handcrafted, handmade, handwritten, note-for-note demos.
Right.
I specialize in commercial and automotive because I've been doing automotive for 18 years. I think I've directed something like 18,000 automotive spots.
Wow.
I did them. Yeah, no, yes and no. Well, the thing is that, of the 17, 18 major manufacturers of automotive, each one has 7 or 8 cars that they need to advertise,
Right.
and each advertisement is only good for a week. And when you hear it's all over Sunday,
Yes.
it is all over Sunday because those incentives come from the manufacturers, not the dealerships.
Oh.
And come Monday, when they offer 0% for 72 months, when that offer stops, it stops. Because most financing is done through the manufacturers,
Okay.
GMAC. Anyway, we don't have to
No,
get into all that
for the
fancy stuff.
talent to know.
Yeah,
Have a better
yeah,
idea.
yeah, and also the public because auto dealers get a bad name,
Yes, they do.
and they're changing, and I'm kind of changing. For the last 5 years, I'm trying to going to my clients and saying, let's lighten it up a little bit.
Right.
We've gotten away from the days, thank goodness, of why don't you bring your husband down, then maybe we can cut a
Exactly.
deal. So we don't really do that for a long time. But lightening it up a little bit, there's so much going on in the world today. I don't want to be pressured. My clients don't want to be pressured. And when the dealerships finally say, okay, let's do that, it's amazing who's coming through the door.
Right.
But the website is dallasvo.com.
Okay.
And that talks, again, about the commercial and automotive demos,
Great.
which I absolutely 100% believe in niche demos.
Right.
I take demos to some of my dealerships, and I'll play it for a great voice talent, and they'll read United Healthcare. And I'll say, wow, what do you think of the guy's voice? Client says, well, he's reading United Healthcare. I said, yeah, I understand that, but what do you think of the texture? Well, he's reading United Healthcare. I know, but listen to the delivery and the rich. Yeah, but he's reading United Healthcare. Okay, I get it. So niche demos work great. And then on the other side of the website, I talk about my meetup group, the Dallas Voice Acting Meetup Group, which we established in 2006. And we currently have somewhere in the neighborhood of 860 members.
Wow.
It's wonderful. And I'm so honored and so proud. I had almost 14, 15 members here at FAF Camp this week, and they were just welcomed into the group. So it was wonderful to introduce my group to the wonderfulness of FAF Camp,
Right.
and vice versa. So to get my group and FAF Camp together and the whole FAF idea together, I was just a proud papa.
Yeah, you should be. And, watching, again, seeing you direct, I wish I was in Dallas. You made it look fun. It was
Give me
just
a
so
call.
much fun.
We have the technology. I can do the whole thing on my phone. Oh my goodness, where's my phone? I have my phone. Isn't it terrible that we're anchored to our phones, and if you don't feel your phone, it's like I'd rather lose my kid for 10 minutes than lose my phone.
Exactly.
You meet my kid, go back.
But in my case, my son's 17, so if my phone's missing, he probably has it.
He probably
If I
has.
find
What's
my
Mom
kid,
doing?
find my phone.
There you go. Good Lord, don't check the cash.
So what's next for you? What are you working on?
Recovery.
Okay.
It's been a hellacious 2 weeks, an incredible 2 weeks. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm catching a plane in about 2 hours, going back to Dallas. And I'll go back to an empty house, kids in school, wife's working. And I'll sit in front of my computer. I'm going to turn off the screen. I'm going to stare at a blank computer screen, and I'm going to say, what the heck did I just do? And, we plan this stuff so far in advance.
Right.
And now, at 2 o'clock when I should be home, it's over.
Right.
And then I'm just going to go back to Radio Vision. I'm going to go back to my agency, of course, and love Radio Vision. Thank you. 18 and a half years with the same company.
Wow. That's
Thrilled.
wonderful.
Wonderful.
Yeah, wonderful.
And go back to the evening demo production and cooking dinner with the wife and helping the kids with homework and mowing the lawn and doing all the things that kind of center you. You get into this world, and my wife usually says, I don't want to talk to you for 2 days because I'm a completely different person.
Right.
Settle down, Cliff.
Right.
And it takes me about 2 days to recover.
Yeah, but we need that. We need that separation.
We need the separation, and we need the togetherness,
Yes.
because we work.
Right.
And my studio's in my home, and I don't leave my home, and I'm home all alone. And thank God for Molly, my 12-year-old cat, who sits on my lap. While the minute she hears the screaming auto spot, she runs in and sits on my lap and falls asleep. She loves it. Big old cat. And now that she's 12 years old, she's really mellow. We get along great. I think I got a couple of scars left, but I couldn't declaw her. I think that's terrible.
Yeah, no, I would. I've got a new
do
dog, and he's a Doberman, and everybody always says, what's wrong with his ears? And it's because I didn't have his ears clipped. I wouldn't do that. To
Oh,
him.
it's terrible.
Yeah,
When they clip cats' nails, they actually cut the tip of the little digits off.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yes. Can you imagine
welcome
if they
to
did that
Cat
to
News.
us? Yeah. Can you imagine if they did that to VO artists? What would they cut from us?
Oh, God, hopefully not our rates.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me say that I have known of Connie for years, and what a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
And really, really wonderful, and what you've brought to FAFCAP. So let me hold the microphone and
Thank you.
interview you. But it's great to meet you, and even though I think this is my this is my 7th FAF event, 5 FAF cons and 2 FAF camps.
Wow.
I always walk away with so much and so energized.
Yes.
And I'm going to go back and I'm going to do a Ford F-150 spot. And I'm going to do a Ram 1500 spot. And I've done millions of them. But when I get back, it's different.
Right.
I feel I have, it's maybe weird sounding, but I've got the power of the group behind me.
Right,
And
exactly.
I've got 100 people patting me on the back saying, go Cliff, one more spot. You can do it. You can do it.
Exactly.
And, emails where I'm going to be answering
Right.
dozens and dozens of emails, and it's wonderful. This is a chosen family,
Right.
and I wouldn't trade anybody for anybody.
Right,
And
exactly. FAF Camp is the family you pick.
Yeah,
You know,
Well,
and so it's great.
I love my family.
I was just going to say the rest of my family.
Please
Please
read-
don't hold it against me. It's just a different.
It is
In the
different.
room when they were asking, "What are you going to do? How are you going to apply when you get back?" My very first thing was Monday's my travel day. I'm not doing anything. Tuesday is connecting with all my faffers because they're the ones that are going to help support me throughout
Yeah.
the rest of until we
We
meet again.
speak the same language.
Absolutely.
It's ageless barrier. It's experienceless barrier.
Yes.
Whether you've been doing it for 6 months or doing it for 35 years, there's a bond.
Right.
And the neat thing about it is, and I think that we've been working on this for a long time to understand that there is no competition
Absolutely.
because you're you, I'm me,
Right.
and
I
it's
can't be you.
no.
And you can't be me.
no.
So, although I'd like to see you in the dress and heels. That might be interesting.
I'd rather see you in the dress and heels, and I'm sure everybody else would as well.
Well, I thank you very much
Thank
for
you so
all
much,
your
Connie. I
time.
appreciate it.
Question I ask all our guests,
Uh-oh.
because it's off the cuff, and
Uh-oh.
I just want to catch people off guard because that's just how torturous I am.
Yes, ma'am.
If you had to describe yourself with a song, what
With a song?
What song would you choose that you think would describe you?
We Will Rock You.
I love it. I love it.
Proud Mary?
Proud Mary. Very good.
That's after I put on the dress, of
Oh,
course. We'll stick with We Will Rock You.
Yeah, I was
think
going to
that's
say
good.
Proud Mary. I kind of did the Tina Turner the other day, and it was not pretty. Yeah.
With the heels, you got to
Yeah,
be
with the
really, really
heels.
careful.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great question.
So thank you.
And I'll bet you when I'm sitting on the plane today, I'm going to go, why didn't I say thick as a brick?
You know what? Email me if you think of a different one, and we'll put it on the little writing down below, a little banner.
One of the reasons that I think that I have achieved a modicum of success is I always go with my first impression.
Yeah.
When I hear something, I don't think about it.
Right.
Either it is or it isn't. So always going with it for first impression,
Right.
and trust that, and we will rock you.
Right.
think
And
that would be
I think
cool.
that's perfect. So thanks for rocking us out this.
Oh, thank you so much.
This
It was
interview.
great to be here.
And we're definitely going to follow you. I definitely will be contacting. This guy's amazing. If you haven't seen him direct, even if you're not the student, but you're just observing, it's something to see. You're amazing. I just loved it.
Appreciate
So.
it. Thank you so much.
And here we go with another golden nugget. We look forward to our next guest next time. And remember, if you want to submit anything because you've got rock stars like this that you know about, please contact us at vonews.rocks. Have a great day. Thank you, Clef.
Thank you, Connie.
Thanks.